We're going to do something a little different today. I'm pretty excited about the fact that we have been working hard on the roadmaps for Q2. And so what we're going to try to accomplish here is actually going through the Q2 roadmaps. And then we also will drop a link to this today, but we have a new publicly facing roadmap that we don't have everything in there yet, but we've got a lot. And this will be kind of on a go forward basis. Instead of these meetings devolving into, hey, where's this? Hey, what about that? I think it'll be more, hey, here's the roadmap, folks. This is where we're at this is what we want to do this quarter. This is where we're at in this quarter, that kind of thing. So that way you don't have to worry or wonder about what's coming. It'll just be right there on the roadmap. And if it's not on the roadmap, it won't be coming this quarter. So we can talk about if we're going to do it next quarter or how it's going to be structured, but at least you'll have an idea of how that works. So I think the first place to start here is NASA, are you ready to rock on your roadmap?
Can Pooja start first? She has some exciting things.
Pooja, are you ready to rock on your roadmap?
Yes, I'm ready.
Okay, perfect. So first, everybody welcome Pooja. She is responsible for a great many things, but we've got social media, email builder, a new product here in Q2. Did I miss anything?
No, social planner, blogging, reporting, and that's it. And email.
Okay.
building.
Well, you gave away your big announcement, but okay, go for it.
Sorry. Hi everyone. So basically, we have decided to first go forward for social planner. We have decided that we'll first finish up with all the socials. That's like Facebook group, Instagram post, LinkedIn post, and Twitter. We are already finished our work on Facebook group and Instagram post. It's already right now in review, and soon you'll see it on live air. You'll just go to social planner and you'll be able to experience them. Already we are working on LinkedIn post right now, and then soon Twitter. Then we'll have the functionality of grouping of accounts and grouping of all your hashtags. So you don't need to every time come on a social post and create the hashtags each time you come over there. You'll just find a group of 60 and just pick them from randomly for each post over there, looking at the hashtag group that you've created. Then there will be an approval status that will be there, which allows you can send it to another team member to approve the post, and then get it scheduled out or posted out for all your socials that you have set. Then there will be follow-up comments, and then there will be something called as customize for each post. You can customize for each and every channel that you have created, like Facebook group and Instagram, because in Facebook group, you can add a good amount of content, but in Instagram, you'll only want to go forward for a short caption. So you can do that with this customize for each post, but you want to schedule it on the same day and create the content on the same day. So that's just an extra feature. Then custom variables will pick up the variables that you have set for custom inside your high level account, and we'll just pick them up and they'll just get replaced. So if you pick up company name, then we'll just replace it out when you are creating your post. So you can just pick from your custom variable list and then create your post. Then there will be something like a detailed post view where you'll get stats about your post. Then there will be improvisation on validations, why your posts are failing, or you'll get notifications when your post has a specific image size not meeting. There will be something like notifications also when your post is scheduled and it goes out, or even when you require approval status or you need to answer back. So those things will be part of our notifications. Then there is something like CSV import that we are looking forward for this. And then there is something service. So we are going to have a social media posting plan, which will allow you to allow your agency to share it across your snapshots and get a whole full calendar for your whole year. So that's what our team is working on. This is one big feature right now, which we are going to keep as a priority after the social. So once we finish the Facebook group, Instagram, LinkedIn, and Twitter, then the next thing that we are going to primarily focus is on the social media posting plan, which will ideally help everyone to have a predefined calendar ahead with you for a year. So that's how we are planning.
Okay, so I'd pause for a second there. And I see all the questions in the, so I'm going to try to ignore questions that aren't relative or relevant to the situation. And anything that's not relevant to the current discussion, we'll push to the end and get to them as time allows. Are there any specific questions about Social Planner? And if so, please drop them. And then Nico, if you want to fish out any that are already there that are social post related, go for it.
Okay. We have a question from Gus. What is the CSV importer? More info on that.
Yep. So what does that mean? Like you can create like for yourself, like you can create a Google sheet where you can add like, you know, the image, the content, the tag, and like the hashtags and like which socials you want to post. So you just need to create that out and then put up a date along with that. And you can create it for like 10 posts over there. And then just, you just want to create it offline and then just bring all of that to Social Planner. So you can do it with the CSV import over there.
And a big focus on social for the social posting is how do we get all of you to a place where you can very easily post to all of these social media accounts at scale? You know, my vision of the future is, you know, you have pre-done posts in a vertical and you're able to deploy those posts automatically at scale to any location that it has that vertical. So you can basically, you know, if you take the custom variables, which is 6, and it allows you to dynamically change some of the post contents, all of a sudden every real estate agent can have the same post, their website, their social feed can look great, and everyone's happy. And then as an agency, you can create another revenue stream that is hundreds of dollars a month in recurring revenue, but not having to run in and create custom posts for every single silly location that are in effect could be, you know, pretty much templated out and provide the same net value to the customer.
And we do have another question from Mary Sue. When will we be able to include, or will we be able to include the socials in the SaaS configurator?
So it's coming up with our next release of Instagram and Facebook group. Like the SaaS configuration will also come out with that. So probably like next week or by end of this week, like we'll be ready with that as well.
Awesome. And there's a second part Mary Sue has is she's not understanding the service social media posting plan, and she would appreciate a little bit more information on that.
Yep. So the idea behind it is like this. So we will provide a predefined, like, you know, a whole predefined set of, like, for example, you are running a plumbing industry, then we'll provide like a calendar for you for like 365 days. And in that, like, you'll get predefined content, predefined images, and predefined hashtags that will allow you to know that, you know, this is the best way to create. You can edit them out, but you'll get that like predefined. So yeah, you don't need to plan your social content. Like you'll get a predefined content for your own company, and then you can just use it inside your sub locations. So that's how we are thinking for this. We are still like looking for the best solution to do this, but yeah, we are going to start from here that, you know, we will allow you to choose from a list of templates that you can create it out for your whole calendar year. And then that will be the best way so that, you know, you can keep posting it out regularly on all different social channels.
Awesome.
And Sean, that's it for the social media.
Perfect. So would you feel free to move on to the big feature you're going to work on for Q2?
Yeah. So the big feature that we are going to work on is blogging. We are going to start with blogging. We have already done our research, enough research that will allow us to move to our next step, which is like the designing part of screens. We'll soon like start over there and then move towards our MVP building. In that, like, we are thinking about having a layout where, you know, you can choose your header, footer, your blog look and feel overall. Then you can add your author information and their socials. So that's like the basic things. And then they can add like their domains and path. Then they can create like your blog SEO, as well as add like if you have any, you know, tracking codes that you want to add, like you can add it in header or footer. And also you can create like category and pages over there. So that's how we have thought of like for settings area. And then you come to like blog post creation. So over there, like you'll get basically an editor where you can create your post for blogs and then like publish them out. And you can also add like SEO for each and every blog post that you've created. And we are going to focus right now on the basic status, which is like publish and in draft. So that is there. And then the second thing is like we are going to give like the basic stats, like how many page views you had, like impressions, clicks, and average read time. So those things, and as well as like, you know, how many shares had happened, and like user permissions, basic user permissions for blogging. So that's where we are on that.
We do have a question from Tim about the blogging. Will there be a way to share blog posts or summaries of them out to social media channels?
Yep. So initially we'll not provide it during MVP, but in the longer run, like we have thought of this plan, like it will be soon. Once the MVP is ready, we'll give this particular part where you can create a social, you can create a post out of it and then put it out on all your social platforms. Yeah.
Great. Thank you.
We do have another question, Poosh, from Pamela. Blogging, is this something sprat from WordPress? What will it look like in the software?
For the record.
Okay. So right now we have not decided yet the look and feel, but ideally we know that, we want to reach where the user experience is the main focus. And the second thing is like, you'll get similar experience when you are doing blogging on WordPress and like other platforms.
I think the question's a little different than that. She's not so concerned about the UI. She's just saying, hey, is this going to be different than WordPress? And the answer is yes. This is completely different than WordPress. It's its own standalone built-in blogging feature.
Yeah.
We do have another question from Jeff with the blogging. Is there going to be a table of contents?
Yeah, we'll provide the table of content as an option. Yeah. So it's going to be part of the blog post creation part where you'll get an editor where you can create like your table of content for your blogging. Yeah, you can do that.
We have another question, extension from Pamela. So if I had people who want to blog, but not really need WordPress, this is powerful.
I agree. 100%. That's more of a statement than a question, but yes,
that is absolutely, I thought it was a question. I didn't read it fully.
It's all good, Nico. You're on top of it. But yeah, that's definitely the goal here. I mean, again, WordPress is a big beast of a thing, so we wanted to offer just a lighter alternative to everybody. All right. If there are no additional questions on that, Pooja, do you want to move to your final? I think it's your final item, the email builder.
No, I have one more.
Oh, two more. Sorry, my bad.
Yeah. So the next one is email builder. So currently my team is going through like a whole new change. We are going to move forward for email builder. The whole experience is going to move. Right now, if you go to email builder, you'll see like your templates and campaigns, everything is like mixed together. What we ideally want to allow you to do is like, you should have the experience of creating your templates differently and your campaigns differently. So you create your campaign, and then when you are running your campaigns, you just come and pick up your template and then do any changes if you want to, and then just schedule them out. So that's the idea. And our team is already there. So we are going to come up with that whole new experience probably by end of this month or so. And almost the majority of the work is done, but we are still looking to like, clean things up around. So majority of our first 5 things is focused on that. So like change in the whole email template list view. Right now we have already divided like templates and campaigns. And we are going to revamp like the UI that was being used for email template, like the experience that you're using for email builder will change a bit. And also there will be a change in like the email campaign list view. And the experience that you were earlier understanding for like, the email builder will change. So we'll have like folder and search inside campaigns too. Awesome. So that's going to be there. And then like going forward, like we're going to have new things, which will be like, we'll have like a better stats representation. Right now, the stats are like jumbled for both like templates and campaigns. You're seeing at one place, but we want to give you like, your own stats for your templates different and your campaigns different. Then you'll have like a better view of your templates, like in the list view. Then there will be something like a spam checker that will be a bit similar to what people use in SendGrid for spam checker. Then the next thing is like import from MailChimp. If you're using MailChimp, you can easily import your template from there and come and use it inside high level. That's something that we want to do. And you will be easily like, our 10th thing is like the system templates, the templates that high level sends out to your customers, as in like your location users or their customers. So what we want to allow you to do is like, you should be able to handle the content and how it should go out. So that is what we are going to focus on in the 10th point.
Awesome. People are definitely hyped on the email stats. Mary Sue has a 2-part question. Will emails have a share link to use in social?
Will emails have a...
Mary Sue, there is actually, and I don't know if a lot of people know this, but Pooja, I'm going to grab the screen real quick.
Yeah.
If you go into your email builder and you go to an email that's gone out already and hit actions, you can hit view and actually get, I thought it was a public link.
I don't think it's public. I think I will try that again, but I have tried that.
Yeah, but Pooja, this is what she's talking about. Yeah, to get a public link.
I got it, what you're trying to say. So that one is like already, like we have thought about it. It's a minor change from our end. So we have already thought about this particular thing. We will put this up. I've not added that because it's like a small thing for us to do. So I've not added it in my roadmap, but this will be there where you can share it on socials.
Feel free to grab back the screen from Chase.
Okay, sure.
And then the second part of the question was, will an account be able to set their own template and use it when creating a new email? Right now,
Yes.
I tell my users to clone a prior email as their template.
Yes. So now you'll be able to create your own template, use it out, and you'll not be required to like clone your prior template. So that won't be necessary. And you'll also get, like when you are creating your campaign, you'll also get the structure which you are following in your templates, like the folder structure that you are currently seeing, like you'll get when you are creating your campaigns as well. So you can choose from that particular templates that you've created over there.
Wonderful. Another question from Tim. What is email campaign? Is this some new automation in addition to workflows and campaigns?
No, Tim. So this is not like something new. So if you are using like good old products, then they have this particular experience where they allow you to create your templates differently, where you just create the content over there and just store it out according to your brand guidelines.
And Pooja, this is a great example where people love visuals. So this is just simply a change to the current email builder. So if you go to MailChimp today and you go to create an email campaign, you basically are creating, there's a template. So you like say like, this is a template. Now I'm going to go send. So I'm going to take this template and push it into a campaign, but that template remains. It's its own object essentially. And we are just standardizing around that experience because that's not how we built it today. Today, there's no difference between a campaign send and a template. So we're just basically breaking those two apart.
Yep. Thank you.
Awesome. And we have another question from Brian about the email templates. Will there be a global element? So if you change the footer in the main template, it will update all versions of emails that use that template.
So no, so that will not happen. So like that is like, a global feature that you're asking. So we could take this up as a feature request and add it out, because if we allow this, then all your running campaigns might get affected. But we could definitely take this down the road where, once our template feature is live, we can definitely add this up, like looking at like requirements. Yeah.
Awesome. And then another question from Jeff. Will creating templates also be able to be available for sending within the individual contact view?
Yeah. So right now we have not thought about that, but we will provide it when you are creating the workflow. So right now, if you go to workflows, you will be coming over there and you need to create your template view over there, which is not very rich in like elements. So we are going to provide you a experience where you go to workflows and you choose like the email. You'll be able to choose your email templates from the list that you've created in email template area. So that's how we have thought about it right now.
I think the question is on the conversations. So on conversations, will these templates be available? So I think, Jeff, that will be the next step after we create these templates. So this, our intention is to make it available on the conversations as well.
So initially it will be part of like right now we are extending till workflows, but later on we want to give it to all parts of product wherever that email templates are getting used. So you can easily set them up and send it out to anyone. Yeah.
Awesome. That seems to be it for the questions under the email builder.
Okay. So I'm moving towards my next thing, which is the last part, which is reporting for Google, Facebook ad, and attribution reporting. So this time, like we are going to change the whole UI of Google Ads reporting. One of the things that we find is like
I do. It's going to have your address, your phone number.
Hey, Gus. Can you mute yourself?
So right now, if you go to Google Ads reporting, you are ideally going to 4 different tabs just to check like how your campaigns are performing. So you go to Google Ads, you go to campaigns, then you go to ad set, then you go to your ads. So ideally that UI is just like repetitive things that that we had done. So we just want to improvise on overall experience of Google Ads. Like you come to Google Ads, you'll see a list of your campaigns, you click on the campaigns, and then you get inside and you'll see your keywords and the ad sets that were running for Google Ads. So that's how we are planning to do it. And you'll get like better data points over there. So if you go to right now Facebook reporting, you'll get the data points like, cost per lead or cost per sales or leads or ROI. So these things allow you to like, make better decisions. So we want to bring the same thing that we have done in Facebook reporting as well as to Google reporting. So our team is already working on this particular part. I want to say like recently Google Ads API had gone through a deprecation and we had to update it with the new one. Our team has already done the work and it's already in QA. So soon it will not be a front end impact, but soon you'll see a change in the way like Google Ads reporting looks. Then we are going to add like a funnel view for each campaign. So funnel view, what I mean by that is like, you'll be able to get like how many impressions were there, how many clicks happened, and how many conversions happened. So that way, like, you'll be able to better track it out, how your each campaigns are doing for Google Ads reporting. Then we are going to provide like export function for Google Ad and attribution reporting. Right now, we are already providing like export function for Facebook ad reporting, but we want to provide like your export function for Google Ad and attribution with your branded things. And for Facebook ad reporting, again, we are going to have a minor UI changes, like instead of 4 tabs, just like 1 tab where you can go and like check out your whole Facebook report. We are going to add right now, you don't know from your Facebook ad or Google ad, like which campaign is live or paused or failed. So from this, like these tags will be added. So you get to know like which are live, which are paused. So you can make accurate decisions when you're doing. And we are also going to allow you to add like a markup fee. So what do I mean by markup fee? So markup fee is something like, when you're calculating cost for each of your campaigns. So right now you have like 4 campaigns running for your Facebook ad. So the cost comes around like $500, but that $500 does not include the cost that you are providing for servicing. So you will have like, another $500 that you're charging your customers for like for that particular service. So ideally your cost that a client has to bear is like $10,000 or $1,000. So we'll allow you to add like your own markup amount over there so that when you are exporting that data, you'll be able to give an accurate data to your customers. And right now, if you have ever had the experience of creating your own Google ad conversion, it's a bit hectic where we are required to create like a conversion inside workflow, as well as like you need to go to your Google Ads and create your conversion action. Instead of that, we'll provide a defined like website and phone call conversion list over there. So you don't need to create like conversion actions in Google Ads. Yeah. So I guess we are done for reporting.
Seems to be no questions about the tasks. Does anyone have a question? And if not, we can move forward.
Yep. Perfect.
Awesome.
NASA, you're up. Thank you,
Yep.
Pooja.
Let me take it up.
Thank you.
Thanks, Pooja.
Thank you.
So I have updates on payments and funnels. So in payments, we have already released invoices. So currently, you are able to create invoices for the one-time products and set up the taxes and add those taxes on those invoice items, etc. So this quarter, we are going to work on the recurring invoices. So you will be able to pull in the products that you have already created and add your own products with the detailed description within the invoice and set a schedule around the invoice details. So you can say schedule like monthly, weekly, or once in 2 months or annual invoices. So you can set the schedule around that and send it out. So this is currently in works. Probably it will be out in about 4 to 5 weeks max. So that's what we are targeting. And then the invoice automations is on. The invoice related details are going to be available on the workflows. so that whenever an invoice is sent out, or when the invoice is viewed, or when the invoice is paid, or is it due or overdue, etc., you can set any follow-up actions. You want to inform yourself, or you want to trigger, maybe the invoice is paid, you want to trigger a thank you email or a review request, etc. So you can do that with those automations. And then the reminders as such. So within the invoices, if you want to send automated reminders to the contacts, you don't today you have to go create a workflow and attach it to the invoices, etc. So these are some of the basic actions which we thought we should give out of box within the invoice product area itself. So what you can do is, for all the invoices that you are going to send out, you can say that, okay, hey, anytime 3 days before the invoice is due, send a reminder, and on the due date, send a reminder, and 2 days after the due date, you want to send a reminder if the invoice is not paid at. So that loop will keep running until the invoice is paid. So you will be able to set that sequence for all the invoices that you will be creating in the account. Then the invoices are going to be available on the contact object itself, so you can see which invoices are are getting paid, and what is still pending. So when you go to the conversations, when you engage with the lead or the customer, you have all this data as the context. So the next big thing will be QuickBooks integration itself. So of course, you can pull in all the invoices from QuickBooks, and constantly sync between high level and the QuickBooks invoices. So whenever the invoices are getting paid on QuickBooks, the high level also will know, and you can trigger the automations. Or when it is going overdue, you can trigger automations and send the invoice link to the customer and request for a payment, etc. So this kind of integration will be super helpful. Then invoice templates, you can create a pre-canned invoices, so that which is like, let's say you sell a particular product or a group of products very often. So you just create a template and associate the tax details, and put the terms and conditions and all that, keep it ready, and then you can clone that, attach it to a particular contact, and just send it out. So if you're using invoices on mobile, it is going to be really super useful if you have these templates. So that's what is going to come up during this quarter in invoices. In payments as such, so we are planning to put the Stripe tax implementation for SaaS products, and then the coupons is coming. So when we have the coupons, you'll be able to create coupons at the expiry date. Of course, it could be a percentage coupon, or absolute dollar value coupon, etc. And associate that with the funnels. So that's going to be a big thing. And then we already have the ability to define the taxes. So those taxes, you can associate that in the products, and wherever those products are getting included, for example, on funnels, it's going to be automatically available in those channels as well. And the last item in the payments is the ability to optionally add the subscription product details. So for example, today what is happening is, when we attach a subscription product with, let's say, trial period and a setup fee, and then let's say $50 per month kind of a recurring fee, especially in cases where there is a free trial. On the day of checkout, the customer may not need to pay anything, but then on a recurring basis, they have to pay something. So, but today the default view that you get is, it will display the recurring fee as something that they will have to pay today. So that is an incorrect representation of the actual price. Of course, you have the price overriding feature where you can override those displayed values, but then that is an optional feature. But with this enhancement, there will be a much detailed view of how much the lead has to pay. So that is going to be available. So that is the enhancement that we are looking at. In Transactions tab, currently we are including the orders from the funnels version 2 and the invoices, orders and transactions tab. So today you can go download those reports as a CSV file and use it for your periodic analysis of how the business is doing. So, but currently it doesn't have any calendar transactions, the funnel version 1 transactions, and the text to pay transactions. So we want to include that, and also include the Shopify orders on the transactions tab. So our goal is to make the transactions tab as a one single destination for you, so that you can get all the details of any transaction happening across, within your location, across different channels. So that's what is coming up in payments slash invoicing. Any questions on that?
Yeah, some serious exciting stuff, NASA. We do have a few questions. One from Mary. She's asking, with invoices, will we be able to trigger an invoice being sent?
Not yet, not in this quarter, but that is definitely in our roadmap. So probably in Q3, we'll be able to do that. So when a particular trigger or an event happens, we want to give you the ability to automatically create the invoice and send it out to a particular contact. And for that to happen, we need this feature where the invoice, you should be able to create an invoice template and keep it ready and take that template and send it out to a selected contact. So we need this feature out before we can get there. So I would say probably Q3 will be a safer time frame to have that feature.
Awesome. Another question is we have about invoices. Will we be able to do automate in workflows, or is it just directly from invoices?
Is there any particular action that you're talking about, or ability to create invoices or follow up on invoices?
Virginia, are you here?
Yeah, I'm here. I was just wondering if I'd already created the invoice inside of the invoices that I could set it to like some sort of automation that it would trigger. But I think that you already answered that with Mary.
Okay. So yeah, so in a couple of weeks, we should be able to get the invoice automation. So with that, for a invoice that is already created, you want to do some follow-ups or any other actions that you want to schedule in the workflows, that is possible in a couple of weeks. And the ability to create an invoice and send it out, that probably will be coming in Q3. So that's
I think even with Mary, so I don't know if she meant when an invoice is sent, will you be able to trigger off it, or do you want to automatically create and send an invoice from the workflow?
I was meaning automatically create and send, because some people do it.
So then NASA's answer was the right one. It's probably going to be Q3. And Virginia, for you, the answer is yes. You will be able to use the workflow for
what's the use case for automatic? How do you use a workflow to create an invoice? What's the use case?
I mean, customer filled up a form, you create an invoice and send it over to them to get them to pay.
Or some people, do it when a client reaches a certain stage in their, development process. You pay 50% up front. You pay another, 20% when design is done, and then a final payment at the end. So it's not like a schedule based on dates. It's like milestones.
Another use case scenario for that would just imagine you got a guy doing furnaces and he's just out doing furnace checkups in the spring or in the fall, the air conditioner checkups. So that can go in a workflow. Somebody gets scheduled, the appointment is confirmed. They go out, they come back, boom, as the truck rolls in, the $89 air conditioner tune-up goes out.
Mary Sue, I have an interesting use case for that with your example. Would it be possible for you to use like internal forms? We can talk more about it too, where each step of the project you finish, you can submit an internal form on your end and have that automatically fire whatever workflows you need. I have a bunch of processes set up like this. I'd be happy to talk with you about it.
Yeah, the other thing I would look at from this perspective is how do these use cases also become more simplified flows? Because the furnace example or any of those, ultimately those are done in the real world today, but they're not done using workflows, right? So is there milestones is also another good example. Is there a way to encapsulate that concept and globalize that more? Because if, let's say, milestones are a really good banner use case, I would create a milestoning concept then, right? And have those milestones automatically trigger off a pre-done invoice. Or if you want to, or like the mass creation of an invoice for the repair or whatever, I could see thinking about that as well, because I do think those are good use cases. So workflows could be a good first step, but I would also, NASA, dig deeper on those use cases and see if there's a reason to actually just make it a thing in the app or part of invoicing.
Sure, Sean.
We have another question from Pamela. One thing ThriveCart does is multiple currencies and taxes. Is this something that is coming?
Yes. So taxes. Let me answer the taxes question first. So already you can do taxes on invoices. So you can create different taxes and configure. The tax percentages and just name it. Those taxes are available on the invoices for you to add in specific products, whatever is applicable. So you can do that already. And in this quarter, our plan is to bring those features into the funnels. So that's what is this item. So you can do taxes already. The multiple currencies we are, currently, of course, there is only one currency per location that is possible right now. We want to implement the multiple currencies, but then, we are still thinking through how does it, how does it work with the, the different opportunities on the dashboards and, things like that. So maybe we have to put the currency filter and let the dashboard refresh for different currencies. So, there is a broader problem set that we have to think through and solve. We do have that for the longer term roadmap, but definitely not in Q2.
Awesome. Next question is from Tim. Will coupons work with 1- and 2-step order forms?
Yes. So Tim, that is the plan. So the coupons will have to work with both 1- and 2-step order forms. But of course, we will do. Not everything will come together at the same time, but then one by one we'll be releasing these things. Yeah.
Great. Another question from Brian. It's about invoices. Is there any ability to hide invoice data / feature for certain users in a sub account or at the agency level? The ability to keep invoicing and payments private as needed.
Yes, there is a plan. And we do, this is definitely tying into our permissions domain. So where we have a major enhancement coming in the permissions area. I wish Shah is here, but he's on vacation, so that's why he's not here today. But the plan is to give you those kind of granular permissions. So some of the SMB features may not have the ability to hide it from all users, but then definitely at a user level you will be able to say that, okay, hey, invoicing is available for these users and only with the maybe read-only view for certain users, and then completely blocked for certain other users. So you will be able to. We understand that the payments are sensitive features, and you don't want all of your team members to have a detailed view into what is happening. So that is coming. So once the permissions enhancements are in, invoicing will be part of that, and at that stage you will be able to hide invoicing and the payment details from certain users.
Will this also be associated with just overall Stripe data at the agency level in the dashboard?
Yes, I'm not sure. Varun, do you?
Like if you sync your Stripe account, all your Stripe data, all your revenue
definitely
data.
the Stripe and the invoices will be part of it, but I'm not sure about the dashboard. Varun,
right, so what was the question?
The question is, since payments and invoicing kind of related to just overall Stripe integration, the challenge we face right now is you integrate your Stripe account, all Stripe data gets funneled into the dashboard, unless, so any of my support team, 20 or 30 of them having access to all of our revenue data via the dashboard on the basis of that integration is problematic. And so I'm wondering from a permissioning standpoint, if we'll get similar
add
controls.
that into the list. So the SaaS dashboard, does it show up for everyone? I guess NASA wouldn't know. Shivam, are you on the call? But we'll run that down. We should make, it definitely should be a permission. I thought we made it as agency admins only, but it definitely needs to be a permission, needs to be something you can turn off for users. So we'll run that down.
Awesome. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you, Brian. We have another question about text to pay. Is there a way to send automated reminders that a text to pay invoice will expire soon?
Right. So text to pay today. So how it is working is when you create a text to pay, it is creating a invoice on Stripe side, and high level platform access doesn't have any visibility into that. But we have plans as a stretch goal. We do have plans to integrate text to pay on the high level posted invoicing feature. So once we integrate that, any capability that you have on the invoices part of it will be available for text to pay as well. So we just need to wait for the text to pay to migrate into the invoicing feature. So yeah, so once that is done, yes, it will be there.
Awesome. We have another question from Anna about invoice what did you mean regarding taxes in SaaS?
I don't remember mentioning SaaS, but taxes, you will be, I think, as Sean says, visual will be much better. So let me show you.
No, you said we're going to be bringing Stripe tax in for SaaS products.
Oh, that one. Okay. Oh, this one. So in Stripe, we have the ability to send a flag so that when you have configured Stripe tax on the, Stripe tax configuration, if it is done right on the Stripe side, and once we send the flag from our side, the Stripe will be able to calculate tax and start collecting it from your customers. So, and that will work only for these SaaS products with SaaS subscription products. So that we want to enable that. So does it make sense? Do you, Anna?
Yep, that makes sense. Thank you.
Thank you.
Awesome. Got the green light from Anna. And then we have a last question from Dawn. I'm not sure if I missed it, but what about being able to just do an authorization only where you can collect credit card information only from a customer so that you can bill the customer later?
Yes, Dawn, I received this question that you asked. Sean forwarded that question to me. I did respond to you on Slack today. That is a very nice feature. I have added that in the roadmap. We will get it done.
Awesome. And that seems to be it for the payment and invoicing questions, NASA.
Cool. And let's move on to funnels. So in funnels, so the speed enhancements is a major focus for us. So in the speed, we are focusing on enhancing the speed for the builder, the preview, and all the other elements in the funnels that we use, and definitely the order form. So one step and the two-step order forms. So that's that's going to be our major focus. The second part is the Shopify on funnels. So we will be able to bring in the Shopify products. Sorry, let me rephrase. So we will be able to create the dynamic coupons on our side and push it into Shopify. And whenever the customer exits a particular checkout page, or if there are any abandoned carts, you want to send an marketing email and encourage your those customers to come back and complete the purchase. And you can include these dynamic coupons in those emails or the pop-ups. So we want to enable that capability. And then on the element side, we are bringing in the Instagram element, the image slider, and the accordion. And there are a few builder enhancements that will be coming in. We are yet to identify what those enhancements are. On an ongoing basis, we want to continually invest on bringing a better builder. This is something that evolved out of our exercise in soliciting your feedback on funnels. So overwhelmingly, we received feedback that we need better drag and drop features. We need a certain branding kit related features and ability to create the styling in one place and apply it across all the funnel and websites, assets, etc. So those things will be part of our builder enhancements. So we want to on an ongoing basis, we want to invest time on enhancing this builder, and we want to really make it better. So that's what we are focusing on, and we are also going big on hiring for this team. So hopefully, if we can get more engineers in this team, we will expand this roadmap and we'll try to achieve a lot more. So.
Well, there seems to be no questions other than good energy in the chat. Everyone seems to be really, really excited about the builder enhancements.
Cool. Thank you.
All right. So, Varun, I think the next step here is probably to drop the Canny link if you're cool with that. And then kind of go over some of the FAQ stuff, I guess, regarding that. Does that sound reasonable?
Yeah.
All right, perfect. So we are endeavoring to make this stuff as public and transparent as possible. So in the chat, I just dropped a link to Canny. And Canny is basically going to do two things. One, it's going to replace our current ideas board. And it's also going to serve as a place where you can come in and actually look at roadmaps in real time. I am literally just seeing this probably for the third time today. So the roadmap section is down here, right, Varun? But dumb question. How in the heck do I sort it?
I couldn't figure that out as well. I spent
Okay,
some
cool.
time.
Good.
Yeah.
Okay, well, awesome. Well, maybe someone else will come in here and figure this out. Shaw did tell me like, oh, no worries. Just go ahead and filter it by status or something. And I was like, what? How does that work? So anyways, it's a work in progress. But what's cool is in here now is the CRM, the calendar automations and memberships. I'll drop the FAQ as well in the chat just so that everybody, so some good basic answers to questions. Oh, apparently I can't do that. Cool. I don't know how to get this FAQ to everybody, to be honest.
Welcome to demo hell.
Oh, it's fine. I'm used to it. It's all good. I think it's because they don't like. I think it's because Zoom won't let you post a big, like a big long text string or something. I think that's probably there's a limitation on that or something. But anyways, here's what I'll do. I'll just share my screen and read through them. Awesome. Okay. So what do the statuses mean? Under review, hidden from anybody for internal purposes only. So I assume you can't all see that. Upcoming means later in the year. Plan means current quarter. In progress is work in progress. It means Dev is literally working on it right now. Why are there so many duplicates? We've blindly imported the ideas from the older ideas board. And since people have created multiple copies of ideas, they're naturally moved over. Why did you pick the ideas with one vote? We're in the process of deduplicating them. And once the process is over, end of April, the count next to the ideas will be updated. Ideas boards don't get attended to. How do you plan to solve that? We're setting a bi-weekly meeting to review ideas for the boards and update the statuses to keep all of you abreast with the latest. I see spam posts on the ideas board. Basically, they're going through them, trying to remove those. Will it surface at the location level? Yes. For the non-white label agencies, we'll add a feedback button on different pages and link them back to their respective ideas boards. Why'd you move over this new ideas board? The last one didn't have spam post abilities, couldn't merge duplicate posts, and we just didn't have an easy way to show off a public roadmap. And then under the upcoming, how do we know how far out the item is? They'll start to service an ETA as soon as they can. And then so far, like I said, which products are covered, CRM, calendar automations, and memberships only. So that is the FAQ. I will try to find a way to get that to people as needed. And unless there is, are there any other roadmaps or product managers present to present them, Varun, that you want to highlight? Otherwise, I think we can drop back into our standard Q&A format for the last few minutes.
I think we can.
Okay. Great. Nico, over to you.
Let's do it.
I got one update. I'll give an update on the support side. So one thing that we are doing, and everyone will start seeing some messaging over the next week or so, is we are actually getting rid of email support. So you'll no longer have the ability to email support@gohighlevel.com. What we're actually doing is turning on a toll-free phone number and live chat so that you'll be able to call in, you'll be able to talk to somebody on our team right away instead of going through email hell where you send a message to our team, it takes 4 hours, they send it back to you, and it takes 4 hours for you to respond back. It's just a long, convoluted process. So we're trying to speed that up as fast as possible. As a part of that endeavor, the idea is that over the past couple of months, we've been testing out the success room where we have open office hours where we can jump in and get on a Zoom call. That's proven to be very successful. So what we're actually doing is getting rid of that and actually pushing that back to our support team so that when you do get on a live call with them or get on a live chat, the idea is that they're going to give you a help article, kind of just do a first level triage. If that doesn't solve the issue, they're going to bring you into a Zoom room, very similar to the open office hours. And the idea there is to give you on-demand support with a human. Of course, trying to provide that for the thousands and thousands of customers that we have, there might be a little bit of wait time, but the idea is that we're trying to get as close as we can with you and provide you that top level of support. So bear with us through this change, but that is the direction that we are going. And you'll start seeing some in-app changes that support that. We'll start sending out some messaging over the next couple of weeks as well. So that's going to be a huge change for us on the support front.
No, you're definitely right, Robin. That is huge. And now we can go into the questions. We have the first one from Gus. He's saying, reminder, create action, clear all tags.
You want to flesh that out a little further, Gus?
I guess it's
Well, that's
just
kind of
adding a workflow
self-explanatory.
action
Instead, go
to
ahead.
clear all tags. Like,
Yeah, we
delete all
discussed this.
tags.
We discussed this a few months ago. It's just boom, wipe out all the tags and. that's
Oh,
it.
you're saying a reminder that we talked about this before. Got it.
Yep.
Got it.
Okay,
Varun, is
next
that on
question.
somebody's list?
I'm not sure, but I'll send that on to Shanavas. So, I mean, what the product team really will be doing is, let's say this idea doesn't exist. They'll really go look at the ideas list. If it doesn't, they'll create it and then people vote it up. But they are trying to religiously stick to that list to decide which items get picked up.
Awesome. Thanks, Gus. Next question's from Tim. Can we get an expendable text element for websites? I can share my screen to demonstrate what I mean.
Can I do that?
Accordions.
Sure. Kind of. Let me just do this. So here's an example. This is a WordPress website we built for a client. And it's very common for clients to want to do something like this, where they can have a list, visual list like this, and then have a clickable element that either expands the text out and then allows them to shrink it back down, or in some cases, they might want to pop it up in a like a display box, like you might show. Basically a modal. Yes, thank you. So the question is, can we get something like that as an element for websites, or is it already there and I just don't know it?
I'm pretty sure it is. Nessa, are you still here?
Yes, it is.
Hey, you guys have accordions on the funnel builder list, right?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I missed that.
Yeah.
Okay, well, that may solve it then. Thank you very much.
In Q2, the accordion is coming in. So yeah, it's coming up.
Wait a minute, it's coming in, or is it here now?
It's not there yet. It's in Q2, probably.
Oh, that is
probably
the accordion, but I guess Tim's asking about the expanding section, right? So you see that link where it says see more information. When they hit it, it expands out and shows some hidden text, and then they can collapse it back. So he's really asking about adding in a section like that.
Yep.
Yeah. The accordion will help to some extent, but yeah, this is a slightly different behavior than accordion.
So I think you can just add this to your list of elements and prioritize it. Yeah.
Okay, so but it's not there. Okay, thank you.
Mm-hmm. Next question's from Pamela. I have a question about $0 SaaS, and is it coming back?
What
Is it coming
$0
back?
SaaS?
I mean, you can hack that now, right? You make the plan, then you go in Stripe, and then you change it to 0. But why would you ever want to give away
Yeah, it
a
doesn't.
product that's worth hundreds of dollars?
Yeah, I know. That's a great conversation. The $0 did work, and then it stopped working when you did the changes in the Stripe. It no longer will allow me to create a $0, so it doesn't work.
That might be a limitation on Stripe. I don't know. I didn't hear any changes made on our side. Shivam would be the one to confirm, I believe, but he's not on today's
He's
call.
not here, but I don't think we changed anything on our side as well. So I wonder if this is a Stripe change.
I believe in the conversation I had a couple of months ago with support, it was a change that was made when you changed something with the payments. You had to do the auth on it or
I
something.
will second this. I noticed this as well. Before we switched to the products with Stripe and everything internally, you could do a $0 one. If you're testing and stuff, Pamela, I've just made like a $1 test product that I've added in and then taken out later to test my funnels. But if you're actually like charging something for free, you might be better off using a regular form. Just saying. But I have noticed that as well, so I will second that.
Just using a regular form. Yeah, I haven't checked in the last couple of weeks whether or not I can go back and do it, but I could, and it stopped working.
Yeah. So, I mean, someday though, I mean, on our side, we'll continuously sort of see the idea of giving away hundreds of dollars worth of software for free is a bad idea. So we will.
I think it's not for free. Like they're wrapping it in their $60,000 coaching program. So that's why.
Yeah, that sounds really brilliant at first until
It does at first.
until somebody cancels the coaching program and then they've given them no off ramp to the software.
I agree with you.
So in general, like if that stops working, don't be surprised. Like we don't have a lot of time on our hands to go racing after this, but again, it's just, I would call it a hack job workaround. It's kind of like last week we had we updated the Firebase library, and there was a scenario where you could query the database locally for the user in the location you were logged in as, which is not a security hole. So I just want to be very cautious about this, but is a dumb idea and is a hole in general that shouldn't be left open. And Google closed it. And then a bunch of people freaked out because they couldn't log in because their custom JavaScript did exactly that. That's the kind of thing where I would say they were taking a risk. And that's what I told everybody who complained to me about it. I said, look, tell the original authors to fix it. But just in general, know that if you're trying to hack around the SaaS configurator, at some point that hack may cease to work.
And it looks like it did. And I'll need to go back and get it.
Melissa's got a new hack for you, but just heads up.
Yeah, and I agree. I think it needs to be.
Or I mean,
tried.
not Melissa, but
Yeah.
Sorry.
Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome. Next question's from Stephanie, and happy Wednesday to you. She's wondering if she can customize notifications at the location level, specifically the mobile app.
Yeah, I can let you know what my use case is if necessary.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we have, as many of you guys know, we started our certification program, which, trains you in the software. And then we have certified automation architects that are able to help our clients and your guys' this community as well. But with that means that those people are being added as users to their client accounts, because we don't want to make everybody an agency user because we don't want to give them those permissions. But what we've been noticing is with the mobile app specifically, if they're a user in every one of their accounts, they're getting all of those notifications. So people are getting upwards of like 100, 200 notifications a day. So I was wondering if it would be possible to, customize what, toggle on and off certain notifications on the location level, so that we can, customize that and still be able to optimize the automation architects that we're molding. Yeah.
So that is on the CRM team's roadmap. I saw a couple of initial previews for those type of things. So it's definitely coming.
Awesome. Thank you.
Cool.
Awesome. Next question is from Melissa, and she's asking, how many videos can we upload to the membership area? She has someone who uploads daily videos and they want to upload all of them. Is there a limit?
There isn't today, but we are starting to draw boundaries around some things that we left open. And so far it's been around things like the API, where someone writes really bad code that's just looping around and hitting the API nonstop, and they're racking up millions of hits a day. And we're starting to draw some outer boundaries to catch those type of use cases. But for today, on the memberships and uploading videos, there are no limits. You can upload as many as you want.
Awesome.
Would you
Thanks,
suggest,
Varun.
sorry about that. Would you suggest, what could I tell her? It's probably going to go away. Don't do it. Or
No, there's no plans. A video a day. I don't even know how to think about that, but there's no plans to.
I know what Varun is saying in a way that probably leads people to believe things are more like than they are, is he's just saying overall we're trying to find mass abusers, of which there are very few, and get rid of them. So but someone who is appropriately using the system like that probably won't fall into that situation. But please don't try to create a major motion picture or upload your entire library of stolen movies for the last 20 years, things like that.
Yeah, gotcha.
But, as long as you're reasonable, or my favorite is, I got this video from the internet. It's 8K and 100 gigabytes or something crazy, and no one in the world can view it at this resolution, but heck, let's upload it anyways. Just take reasonable steps and you'll be just fine.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you, Melissa.
Cool.
And next question.
Hey, Nico, I'm going to hijack one more thing. So we are creating a new education hub. So if you go to gohighlevel.com/education, you'll be able to see all of our upcoming events, webinars, things that Chase and Paulson and the rest of the company are putting together on. So feel free to check that out. Also in May, we are doing our first in-person event here in Dallas. So we're finalizing that. You'll see some messaging about that. We'd love for people to come join us for that event. It's going to be our first SaaSpreneur event. And we'll continue to put on more in-person events. And we're also planning on our Level Up conference that will be in October as well. So more details to come. Just wanted to get that out here as well.
Super
Piggyback
exciting
off
stuff.
of that real quick. I'm going to throw a link into the chat. If you guys want to get reminders for the town halls, there's a new reminder campaign set up. Just click that link and throw your info in there, and then you'll get a reminder an hour before and 10 minutes before.
Awesome. Everyone done stealing my thunder? All right. Just
Ready to
go. Next question's from Kristen. Are we planning on doing any dashboard / reporting updates? I heard possible design studio integration.
I mean, we are thinking about adding additional data, roll-up reporting from the locations, maybe surfacing some product usage analytics, but that's the extent of it.
I mean, I have, that's my crazy idea, and I'm still gonna try to find a way to push that through. I think the idea there is I get hit up constantly for customizations of reporting, and the extent to which people want to customize clearly starts to bend the bounds of a one-size-fits-all solution. And so I think there are different ways to approach this. And maybe you take the product team and you crack into the 90% solution, which I think is possible, and say, hey, here's something that's going to work for 90% of people. Or we could just go at the Google Data Studio first, and then it's like, well, go crazy and do your own stuff at will. But yeah, that's just, it's sort of trying to address that need and that use case. But as far as the better answer to that, I will leave that to smarter people like Varun to make that decision.
Awesome. Next question we have is from Stephanie. An ETA on coupon codes and being able to pull videos directly into funnels via uploading into the media library.
So coupons is Q2. We earlier discussed that in the roadmap discussion. And for pulling the videos directly into funnels, yeah, I mean, I need to get back on that. I don't have an ETA right now.
Yeah.
Okay. Thanks, NASA. Another question from Kristen. Update on the 2 possible sending domains, cold and transactional, duplicating workflows across accounts.
Varun?
I feel like that's a Varun question.
So
Workflows.
what is the problem?
Duplicating, they want to duplicate workflows across accounts. So that's one of the questions is the timeline for
So
that.
it is on the roadmap for the workflow team for this coming quarter. So it should get done.
And the other one, I'm sorry, Nico, was?
It's update on the 2 possible sending domains, cold and transactional.
Yes. So the email ISV team is starting to run that down. So it will be possible. We're exploring all the different options of topics or lists, or we're really just trying to do it the way every other platform is, but that will happen this quarter as well.
Awesome. Another question from Stephanie. Are there any plans to create events in funnels / workflows so we can use add to calendar widgets like the calendar?
I didn't fully understand that. What was the question?
Stephanie, are you here?
Sorry,
Doesn't
she
look
had to run. She's, what was her question?
It was, are there any plans to create events in funnels / workflows so we can use add to calendar widgets like the calendar?
I think she's
got
talking
it.
about.
So
we
she's
use
asking
add-
for an element. That makes sense.
Okay.
Like add a element to the funnel builder. You set up a date, time, all of those type of things, and then there's an add to calendar on the funnel page, and when you hit it, it adds it to your iCal or your Google Cal.
Yeah, because I think we're using add event for that now.
Yeah. That's smart. So that doesn't exist, but NASA another cool funnel item just to add to your list.
I'm taking note of that.
Awesome. Thanks, guys. Next question's from Bill Crane. Bill, are you here to elaborate? There seems to be a pretty lengthy one. Bill Crane?
He's here.
Okay. What's up, Gus?
He's here. I'm telling him to open his mic.
Sorry, I had to quickly end another call. I'm listening in the background. So my first question was about the editing the dashboard. So basically, I do demos, and I'm in the real estate space, and not every time, but almost every time, I get things like, "Are you just reselling Peng Joon's thing? Are you just reselling Krista Mashor's thing? Are you just reselling Jason Wardrop's thing?" Because like there's like, you know,
have you not met Ross Christofali? And well, there are several others. That's just the one I happen to know. I mean, there's some radical customizations out there.
I do know Ross, and I'm actually in communication with him. So is that the answer? Just have a guy like Ross?
Well, the short-term answer is, yeah. I mean, but I mean, well, even the long-term answer. So, I mean, we could long-term, and we will long-term, make certain amounts of customization easier for sure, right? But I mean, there will be some limits to where we go with this. But you know, again, I think it's a position we've taken across the whole company, which is not our creativity, your creativity, right? So how can we sort of allow you to do things in our app you can't do anywhere else? Because quite frankly, even with all the money and I always think of this, like with infinite amounts of money and infinite amounts of people in every department I could ever dream up instantaneously overnight, we still could not accomplish the things that our customer base can accomplish purely because the creativity is unique. I meet people every day who do wacky, weird things with high level that I would have never envisioned possible. Every time I see a van drive by from the world's largest e-commerce retailer, I think to myself, if that van breaks down, that driver is actually using high level to communicate back to headquarters that he or she needs a new tire is pretty phenomenal. Yeah. Never would have been in a million years thought high level would have been used for that. So on that note, yes, go in if you truly want to customize it, if you truly want to make it unique, then you want to go after something like that.
I definitely don't want to, but it's just coming up too often.
Well, and although
you've got some great affiliates.
Well, yeah, but I would actually take huge, massive issue with this, right? So I think that is a mindset issue more than it is a reality issue. Because let's just say you say, well, the answer is no. First of all, it's never the same thing. But even if it's based on the same platform, it's sort of like, you know, no one ever asks us, hey, are you just reselling the same Google Cloud hosting stuff that I've seen other SaaS apps use? I would just laugh in someone's face if they said that to me, even though that's exactly what we do. We use the same database as millions of other people, but the reality is it's the stuff we put on top of it that makes it unique. And that fundamentally, regardless of your look and feel, by the way, gosh darn better be true, because if not, that's your problem. If I can't come to you and get something unique that I can't get from any other person besides you, not because you have amazing coding skills, but because you have amazing marketing skills, that's the difference. And that should always be the difference. So I would say, even if you make it look wildly different, maybe that'll make you sleep better at night, but still the real value in the product is your IP, not our software.
Absolutely. And that's how I handle it. And a lot of times it's no problem. The times that it becomes a problem is like, well, I signed up, for this other person's thing and I didn't like it. So, and then I have to go in.
Well, yeah, that's because of that other person. Right.
Exactly.
And I'm telling you, I live this every day. This isn't just something crazy I make up. I talk to people daily who say that same thing and actually who kind of get to the other point where they're like, yeah, but then I actually worked with this other person and man, it was so much better. I'm amazed. They totally ran it differently. They had other features I didn't know about, blah, 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 blah. And that is actually what I love about what we're doing, because it's the truth of the matter. It's the fact that you can take the same stupid tool and you can give it to two people and have radically different outcomes. And so I just want to make sure that while you totally can go customize it because it makes you feel better, or it just sort of perceptionally helps your case, but just realize that as long as at the heart of it, that's not your keystone argument.
Correct.
Yeah. So go say hi to Ross and anybody else who I forgot to mention, by the way. Feel free, if anybody knows somebody, drop in the chat. I don't want to unduly give Ross credit. I've seen him do some radical stuff.
Right. My second question is, just yesterday out of blue, I had some guy cold call me trying to sell a CRM. I'm like, okay, let me hear what he's got to say. And then we get a Zoom, because I'm like, yeah, I want to see what the competition's doing, right?
Yeah.
And the first thing he does is he goes to my site and he's like, oh shit, you're not ADA compliant. You need one of these widget things in there.
Sure.
And I'm like, what in the heck is all that? So then I'm researching it, and afterwards, freaked me out a little bit. And I find out it is kind of a big deal. So is that anything that might be coming down the pipe, like some kind of?
Well, I mean, you can add in all those ADA widgets with a JavaScript code. So obviously you could do that today.
Yeah.
I talked to a company out of Israel who is one of the larger providers here. And I don't know that we don't do this at some point, right? But it's like, this is why, it's so funny. This is how you end up getting a chief legal officer.
Yeah.
A lot of these things are such that they just take a tremendous amount of legal effort, because what we want to do, obviously, is in any scenario where we can educate you to potential legal issues in your world, we want to, right? I came out recently and I told everybody, go look at the FCC and how they're dealing with reviews and all that. But the problem I have on my side is I'm not an attorney, right? and I want to be very cautious about telling any of you, go do this. Because the second I do that, then you're going to rely on that advice.
And said.
Yeah, precisely. And if you get sued, unfortunately, that's going to turn into, add high levels of the lawsuit. So at the end of the day, we actually are going to make an investment here and work on creating more formal sort of guidance here. But I would say until such time that I feel like we can do the best job for you possible, I'm not going to come out and say, do this or do that. I've heard of the ADA stuff. I agree with you in general that it's a serious issue you should look into. But if you do find a solution today, all of the ones I've seen can be added into high-level funnels and websites very easily. And something that's totally doable. So we don't limit your ability to create that compliance, but I can't advise you as to what that compliance is. And we don't have a built-in solution yet.
Okay, sounds good.
Awesome. Thanks, Bill.
Yep.
Next question we have is from Brian. Brian, do we answer this one? Invoices. Is there any ability to hide invoice? Yeah, we did. Apologize.
No, you're good, Nico.
Text to pay. Is there a way to send automated reminders that a text to pay invoice? Oh, I'm sorry. We
answered that one. That's okay. It's hard because we're mixing and matching how we're doing this now. So
yeah,
makes your job harder.
So we have the next one from Jeff. D&D separate for phone and email. There's a couple questions.
I think Varun is here. He's got that figured out, I think. Maybe.
Yeah. So the CRM team is working on that. It's one of the top items, so it should go out this month.
Well, how's it going to work?
Woohoo! Been waiting for this for years.
We'll wait for Shanawaz. Maybe, I think before the next town hall, it'll be released. But it's basically just two switches. Do you want email to go out or not? Do you want SMS to go out or not? Done.
Okay. There's a second part to the question as well with the 2FA add Authy / Google Authy.
That isn't on the list right now.
Okay. And then there's a third one, calendar appointment, meeting location, Zoom versus physical address.
Shouldn't that work today?
Jeff, are you here?
Yep. I don't think it is. I'm comparing Calendly, probably a bad thing. But in there, you can put a physical address or a Zoom session, and then it'll send, it'll come through on the meeting. It'll say, here's the location. Whereas right now, my understanding is when I set up the calendar, it automatically puts in the Zoom in every one, which is fine I guess as a plan B, but there's not a toggle or a way for the end user to come in and say, yeah, I'd like to meet at this location or at your office versus online. That's
Got it. And how does that work with Calendly? Do you just have separate services, like one's always remote, one's in office, or for each meeting do they get to pick? The person booking the appointment gets to pick.
Exactly. So there's literally a toggle right there, and they can choose, would you like this consultation, for
That's a
example,
cool idea.
or this first session or the second session, depending on what the business is. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a really cool idea. I'll add that to the list and send that over to that team.
Awesome. And then there's a third or last part with Jeff, the ISV update on SMS and email.
Yeah. So with SMS and with email, we've started down the ISV path. Right now, what we're working on is really tuning our skills when it comes to email deliverability. It's not something that we've traditionally been good at. We just had a domain and we let it go. So we're really spending a lot of time getting better at it. We're catching and blocking a lot of people who are trying to sign up to the platform and send cold email every day. We're combating a lot of issues with bounces, with making sure people validate from addresses before they start sending out SM using crazy random addresses. So there's a lot of cleanup that's going on, and all of this just leads into the ISV. We think the ISV will be ready for a private beta this quarter and will really roll out to everyone Q3. With the Twilio ISV, the rebilling piece of it is ready. But what we're working on now is we're noticing that, and this is true for all platforms, like Twilio used to, when they first started, you used to just be able to sign up with an email address and get 100 free credits and be able to send out an SMS to any number. And over a period of time, you had to verify a from number before you could send out as that number. You had to verify the destination number if the account was still a test account. So they put in a lot of rules to be able to catch people who would sign up or try to take advantage of the platform. So we're going through those same steps. We're just adding some checks and balances to make sure people can't just sign up and take advantage of the ISV. So once those changes are out, we should roll it out to everyone. But we think by the end of this quarter, we should be ready.
Awesome. Thank you, Varun. Thank you. Next question's from Brian. Would it be possible for us to get access to Freshdesk integration in the way that you guys use it? It would be great to be able to deploy this for our sub accounts, link to our Freshdesk to better support our clients and further remove the burden from GHL support team.
Yeah, and I think a lot of customers already do this today. I don't know if there's any that use Freshdesk in particular. I think I've seen examples of that as well, but you can do this today.
Awesome. Next question's from Dawn. There used to be a way to filter the reviews to say show only 4 and 5-star reviews for the website code. Is that coming back?
It's not coming
No.
back.
This is one where we very distinctly brought this up with our law firm, and their very direct recommendation was to make that change. So if you don't like it, go elsewhere. But I highly recommend you like it.
And this is very real, right? Like there's an
Yes.
article, somebody just got a massive lawsuit for this exact usage.
Yeah.
It's not review gating. It's like they had a widget on their website that was only showing
No, it
positive
was,
reviews.
I mean, it was, yeah, I think it was, I can't recall if it was both or whatever, but what I know is that filtering reviews is now a no-no. And that means gating, and it's no longer, I always knew it is against Google's policy, and I told everyone as such, and we that's why the reviews are set up the way they are out of the gate. They don't gate. But lots of people get pressure from their clients to do this, but now it is absolutely 100% illegal. And I'm very firm on that one. I'm certain of it. Not only can you not try to not only can you not gate, you can also not filter. So now it's become something else. And before, again, it was more like, oh, watch out if Google figures out this, you could get your reviews removed. And I think a lot of people are willing to take that risk. But now, I mean, you're going to get fined by the FCC, and I sort of think it's like a TCPA sort of thing where, it used to be that you could send random garbage text messages to anyone at will and have pretty much zero chance of getting in trouble. And I think now you can find lots of law firms running ads saying, did you get a text that you didn't sign up for? Click here to sue the heck out of those guys. So just as marketers, I think it's very important that we go to our clients and say, look, I know that this never actually worked, but it only worked in your head, but now it's illegal. So stop. If you want to know more, the FCC has a guide for marketers on their website. Or FCC, FTC, one of the two. I think it's FCC.
Awesome.
Hey, so just to confirm, the review widget now shows all reviews.
That is correct.
Regardless of the review. Thank you.
Yep.
Next question we have is from Anna. In a single location, we can have the GMB messaging work for 3+ or right? Anna, are you here? I didn't understand the last part of the question. Maybe she's not here?
Yeah, let's keep rolling.
Okay. Next one is from Jeff. Enter key function in conversations view, line break versus send. Make it function the same on email and SMS.
I'm here.
Oh. Could you reiterate the question?
I'm here. It wouldn't let me speak. Yeah. Basically, I have a location and they have 3 different schools, so they have 3 different GMBs. And I wanted to make sure that the GMB messaging is all coming through. Because on whichever was the last one I connected, that's the only results I show from the GMB, where it shows you like how many clicks you've got and how many calls.
You mean, do all GMB's messages filter from 3 physical locations filter into one location?
Into one high level location.
Yeah,
yes.
I don't believe it's ever done that, has it?
No. I think it's always been.
Well, I asked NASA if it would do that, and he said yes.
No, well, NASA's here. He can throw down on that. Hold on.
I think I misunderstood. Anna, I think I misunderstood your question. I thought the question was whether you can connect the Google accounts into one location. Yes, you can connect, but then the GMB messaging itself, that is not possible. Sorry, my mistake. I didn't understand the question.
Okay, so what do I do? So I have to do 3 different locations?
Yeah, that's what you have to do today. Now, I think there is some idea here that this may change, but because on the social media posting, we have it so that you can connect multiple GMBs into the same account, and Facebook and so forth. I don't know. There's Varun, I don't know your through line on this. There's a place where this no longer makes sense.
Decouple all of these to make it so that you can add as many Facebook accounts to a location as you want. You can connect the Facebook account in as many locations as you want, and it'll basically just send all messages everywhere, send all leads everywhere. So we'll just completely open that up, because we do get a lot of bug reports, odd use cases that this doesn't cater to. So we'll just open that up.
Yeah, it doesn't cater because many businesses have multiple locations.
Yeah.
And so
we've seen this a lot of times
like
with doctors.
Every dentist office, you know what I mean? So that would really help a lot.
Yeah, so we'll completely open that up. We don't have a solid timeline. So on some things like the Facebook lead ads, for example, you connect the same Facebook page in multiple locations, let the ads flow into both the accounts, let the messenger messages come into both accounts. So we're just getting started with those changes, but we'll work our way up to GMB as well.
Okay, and in the new list, not the old ideas list, do I need to put this in the new Canely list or whatever it's called?
Canny, yes. I think that'll be perfect.
Okay, I'll do that today. Thank you. Bye.
Awesome. So next question is Jeff's, and it's enter key function in conversations view, line break versus send, make it function the same on email and SMS.
Yeah, so the question is when you're in the conversations view and you're in the email portion, if you click the enter button, it just line breaks and it moves you down to type in your next sentence. When you're in the SMS section of that same place, conversations, when you hit enter, rather than line breaking, it just sends it immediately. So I was thinking it might be better if they function the same, so that you just line break, line break, line break. Then when you're actually ready to send, then clicking that bottom send button would be ideal, but
here.
We'll run that down.
Just a thought.
Awesome.
Yeah,
Thanks,
yes,
Jeff.
we'll run that down.
Yeah,
I
we'll
guess
run that
the
down.
reason it is the way it is with text messages, most people aren't going multi-line. They're just typing and they usually hit enter to send, and they're switching between conversations. And I think in that box, it's shift enter for a new line. But I see where you're coming from. I see the confusion there. So we'll run that down.
Thank you.
Awesome. Next question is from Tim, and he is saying the town hall meeting sign up form is a great example of the problem with the phone field that I've been asking for about over a year now. You cannot tab into the phone number field and begin typing a number. It gets stuck on the country drop-down control.
You know what I'm talking about?
NASA, I think this is something that you can add to your list and run down with Anish and team. So basically the problem here is when you're tabbing through a form or a widget or whatever, when you get to the flag field on the phone number, it doesn't allow you to move forward. It just gets stuck on that field.
In fact, it would be even better if focus was set to the number part of the
and it
the
skips
control.
the flag picker altogether. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Still waiting for that. Thank you.
Awesome. Next question's from Brian. Any update on Twilio Shaken/Stir and creating trusted business profiles?
I mean, over there, Shivam really would have been the best person to answer that, but he's out all this week. So I guess we'll have an update on the next call.
Okay. Next question's from William. Is there a way we can push a fix in a workflow, such as spelling errors or link changes, without loading and potentially overriding too much loading the entire snapshot? Even skipping most everything still leaves us open to changing items the client customized in workflow. William, can you elaborate on this?
Hey guys, what I was basically looking for is if we have a workflow and there's just a spelling error in it, how can we push that out to all the locations without having to reload an entire snapshot, and even skipping everything in the snapshot except for one area? It still leaves us open to have other things overwritten by accident.
How so? Bill?
Yes.
Oh, sorry. How so? You said if you skip it all and you just select that one item, it's still, I mean, you're talking about overriding other things that have been changed in that one item, correct?
Right. So if you have a workflow and there's A, B, C, and D in it, and B is a spelling error, can I just push out a fix to correct that without having to worry about A, B, C, A, C, and D?
No,
Okay.
That's an exceptionally difficult computer programming concept. I have to compare every flipping thing and find the tiniest little change. So is it absolutely possible? Yes. Will we ever get to that level? God, I hope not, because that is so much work. It's not even funny. So no, we will not ever get to the level where you'll be able to handle spelling correction issues like that, except by wiping out the workflow.
Okay.
So you know what you could do if you were really hyper concerned about it? If it were me, I would create a duplicate with the change, push the dupe, and then inform your users like, sorry, everybody, our bad. We had a spelling change issue, or just tell them.
Perfect.
William, have you used the Grammarly Google Chrome extension?
Yeah, I don't know of any spelling errors that we have. I just thought that was an easy example for my question, but thank you.
That is a good example. Yeah, but yeah, the reality is it's kind of like when you merge. Whenever you merge something, we sort of decided at the item level, something has to win. You can start comparing line by line by line, but I mean, you can just see how very quickly that becomes a big issue, like templates and funnels, and oh my gosh, it's possible, but way too hard.
I hear you. Thanks.
Yeah. And then I think we got time for maybe one or two more questions because we're about out of our hour and a half. So Nico, feel free to choose your favorite next two questions, or maybe
favorite next two. I guess Josh Knox says, "What are the full details for the event in May? Seeing it as just a month away, being able to make travel arrangements would be helpful to start now. So where is it at? What's the cost? And is there an agenda to look at?" I guess Paulson added him actually. So my favorite question was literally.
Yeah, I was just gonna say Paulson jumped in.
Paulson's all over there. I think these are the smaller events that we're going to start with. So the bigger event will have more lead time. Don't worry.
Yeah, no problem. Thank you.
But you're very accurate in that, Josh. So.
Hey, I've got a really quick question here. I asked it several times before with Varun. Varun, to make it possible so when there's a pipeline, only the assigned users can see the op cards in the pipeline. Did that ever get anywhere?
That already works, right?
Yeah, if the user has only assigned data turned on, that's all they're going to see.
No. If you go into the pipeline, they can see every op card, even if it's not assigned to them.
No,
unless something changed in the last month.
A permission at the user level called only assign data. Once you turn that permission on, they'll only be able to see their cards. They won't be able to see other people's cards.
Wow. Okay. Okay. Fantastic. Woohoo! Thank you. Talk about ending on a fantastic note.
Yeah. Well, actually, technically speaking, you jumped in front of somebody else. So I'm going to give one more question to whomever.
So we can get a question from Don. Update on the WordPress hosting restore/undo, and also the WordPress backend ability features that make it a managed WordPress hosting.
So I know both of these are on the shortlist for the team. So they're running down a list of about 10 items, which they think they have to complete before we can open this up and make this live to everyone. So these items are on that list. So I'd say over the next month, you should see these updates roll out.
Awesome. Thank you, Varun. And that's going to be it for today's town hall. Everyone, thank you so much for joining us. And we hope you have a great rest of your Wednesday, and we will see you in May. See you, everyone.
Bye, everybody.